Hello everyone, it's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where we look at a very important Astro-Numerology event that is coming up. And this week it is the first Mercury retrograde of the year 2022. And we have Venus retrograde happening at the same time. Venus began retrograding in December and ends its retrograde on January 29th. So why is this so important? Well, Mercury actually retrogrades into Capricorn and stays there for quite a while. And Venus is in Capricorn for a long time because of its own retrograde. So this activates the sign of Capricorn in a big way. And Venus's new cycle begins in Capricorn, and the Venus cycles are very important. So Capricorn governs our career, our path that we choose in terms of how to express ourselves. And so the dynamics of having Mercury, the practical mind and the way we express ourselves in terms of the words, the languaging, the communication, and then Venus, which is the tone of the expression, the beautiful expression, the loving, compassionate sense of expression, coming together in this beautiful way to activate our mission. Now, as I said, it's the first Mercury retrograde of the year. It begins at 10 degrees in Aquarius. 10 is the number of instant manifestation, love and light, and the retrograde ends in Capricorn, 24 degrees Capricorn, on February 3rd. And 24 is the number of love. So we have this beautiful theme here that is awakening us to the importance of having compassion, of tuning into the loving side, the kind, acceptance, the acknowledgement of love in our life. And of course, acknowledgement is one of the key words for Capricorn. So when we look at the beginning of the Mercury retrograde, we are, with Aquarius, looking at technology, at the future, at breakthroughs, at freedom. So we're reconsidering situations and experiences surrounding the impact that breakthroughs and technology are playing in our life. That means, in terms of the technological aspect, that maybe we will realize that how we are using technology, how we are using certain gadgets might lose their appeal. We understand the significance of simpler things in life because of the Mercury of retrograde, right? It goes within. So that means spending more time with non-gadgety things and also to explore new concepts. So these would be brilliant new ideas, out there ideas, tangential ideas. That's all very Aquarian. Receiving deep insights about future trends, but also your own future and the future of the collective, how you would like to proceed in terms of how you connect to others and how you feel the general trajectory of energy is moving, because Aquarius rules the future. And of course, we are at the onset of the Aquarian age, so anything that happens in that sign is important. Now, freedom is really the key frequency of Aquarius, and responsibility and accountability are the main frequencies of Capricorn. So what we're looking at is freedom from the extrication of expectations and beliefs that are based on the past, which Capricorn rules, and then organizing our life by setting priorities for what truly matters. So remember that Venus is currently also retrograding in Capricorn. So the Capricorn elements that we're moving towards in terms of this retrograde of Mercury are helping us to truly take charge of our life individually. So accountability is really one of the wonderful gateways to focus on your inner life. Because when you take accountability, you're literally taking the energy of the other out of the equation completely. That's a separate entity completely, and you're putting it back to where it actually belongs, which is within you. You can only be accountable for you. So that means that everything that you do or say, believe in, think about, act on comes from within you. And that reflection of where things are, how things are inspiring you, that is the taking of accountability. So really the accountability comes as a result of you reflecting on what you're about to say, reflecting on how you act before actually activating those thoughts and actions. And that's the Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is about reflecting on those very things. And that is taking accountability before something happens that you may later realize is still part of the old paradigm process. So this is where it gets interesting, because the accountability is part of Capricorn, but Capricorn also governs the paradigm, especially the patriarchal narrative that we're extricating ourselves from. So here comes Aquarius to help free us up, and then we take accountability for what part of Capricorn we want to actually attune to. And that is really where responsibility and accountability come in, as opposed to the adherence to the past, right? That we do hand-me-downs, we listen to top-down leadership, rules that have been in place forever, and therefore we don't question them. That is really the old paradigm. And so when you look at accountability, it really begins in the heart. It thrives when you're in a heart-centered space. The way we know that we're doing it is we're not running programs of fear, of lack, of limitation, of separation, of judgment. We're free to explore without restriction, where we can access higher levels of consciousness. And as we're sustaining these frequencies that are emanating from our heart, we are fulfilling our greatest desires, and we're standing in an empowered state as a result, because we're confident, we're happy, we're tuned into what we really feel aligned to. And this is then where we don't default into our subconscious programming. So we're not aligning to that low signal. So our programming is never going to disappear, right? It's going to be there in the background. It's just that we first of all need to acknowledge that. And then we also need to tune in to our ability to diffuse that programming, to put it literally on low volume. And we do that through alchemy, through meditation, through conscious attention. As you stand in your power, you override all that lower frequency stuff that's going on. And then the frequency that you pulse out is then reflected back to you. And so you're being set free so that you can step into your power. So the way we are set free to step into our power is to focus on solutions, our overall health, our physical body, our thoughts, our emotions, focus on how we respond, how we're feeling in general as we're responding or deciding how to respond. Right? Because the feeling in general, that is really our key, because it impacts everything. That's the frequency we are aligning with, is the feeling. And that's why it always goes back to this heart center. And so our feeling then informs our thoughts. It impacts our physical well-being, our immune system. So go back to that general, how am I feeling, right? This Venus retrograde coupled with the Mercury retrograde is very, very important, because it allows us to connect the feeling with the mind, and then we can consciously direct how we want to spend our time. Do we feel joyful? Do we feel peaceful? Do we feel serene? Do we feel awakened? Are we in a state of acceptance, compassion, purity, clarity, gratitude? So these are some of the options that we have, that we can choose, that are absolutely valid and beautiful. And so this is the adventure that we are here to explore. I mean, who wants to explore an adventure that goes into negativity, right? That is then what the universe will reflect back to you. And it's not going to set you free. It's going to keep you in bondage. And, I don't think that's what you want. If you do, of course, that's your decision. But, honestly, this Mercury retrograde begins at 10 degrees. This is instant manifestation. You're going to manifest fast. So, and you are really in tune with love and light. This number 10 also governs new beginnings. And so in Aquarius, happening in Aquarius, this is new beginnings and freedom to set you free, right? This is love, light, manifestation, new beginnings. And then the retrograde ending at 24 degrees, we're beginning something and then ending, or arriving, I should say, in a place of love. 24 reduces to 6, the number of love, 24 hours of a day, the human experience of abundance, love, nurturing. So we begin the retrograde with manifestation. We arrive in a place of love. And in Capricorn, we are also nurturing that love through accountability. And the accountability then sets us on a path where we are really taking stock of what we are doing. We're not just coasting without understanding how we are consciously directing our energy. So we're in the flow with responsibility. It's a sense of you taking full control of how you want your life to flow. So really listening to your divine self, responding only after you're inspired to do so. This will help to set your mind and heart on the road to freedom and joy. And so another way, of course, you can do that is to discover your own star code. You can go to a free masterclass at starcodeclass.com. That will help to set you free because you can discover your own numbers, your own birth code, and align with what your soul, the gateway your soul chose to be born through for this lifetime. It's really exciting. It also helps you to understand the people in your life. So for more on that, enjoy the free masterclass at starcodeclass.com. Meanwhile, enjoy the Mercury retrograde beginning in Aquarius, ending in Capricorn, joining Venus there in Capricorn for a very big deep dive into your destiny and really reflecting on why you're here, what your purpose is. And have a beautiful week. And I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.